the run in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
23-2 run.
Yeah, to finish. Oh yeah, we just stay with the plan. These are unique games, different challenges. Guys that don't get opportunities to play get an opportunity to play, and opportunity guys play well typically. And we saw that tonight with Bones. We saw that with Coffee and with Boston. PJ Tucker came in, played well. Credit to those guys, for playing well. But we knew if we just stayed together, stayed with it, worked the game, that we would prevail. If we just stayed with it. And I liked how organized we were in the fourth quarter, and I liked the commitment to get stops.
With the off you starting, Royce, what led to that decision?
Yeah, it's just something we've been talking about. If we get into a playoff matchup where we have a bigger opponent, that we feel like his size in the starting lineup is something that would make sense. We didn't want to go to that with Grayson coming off the bench for the first time, having never done it. So we use this one game to let Grayson just have that, feel the rhythm of coming off the bench if it's needed in the playoffs. I expect to go back to our normal starting lineup for next game.
And you played Thad instead of Drew. What led to that decision?
Again, just looking at all our weapons and sharpening all our weapons. What Thad can do in the pocket is something that's compelling to us. Obviously we had this sort of plan, anticipating their main guys being in, found out they're going to be late. We stayed with it. But again, just sharpening all our weapons.
One other thing I had was just when you just look at the game overall, and I think the end of the first half, they went on that 20-4 run, and this could have been maybe over earlier than it was. What did you say at halftime to the guys at that point?
Yeah, just what we said pregame, quite frankly, that don't be surprised that opportunity guys are going to play well. Bones was having a game of his life. We had to do a better job on him. We got a hot player. We know how to deal with hot players and how to shut their water off. We had to do that with him. But just stay together and work the game. These are unique challenges, these types of games.
Frank, I believe you've praised Devin's leadership throughout this season, sort of ups and downs. But what kind of jumps out to you as far as how he's conveyed himself as a leader?
Well, I think, the first thing with leaders is your best leaders are the guys that can rise to the occasion on the floor. I think that's where it starts, and I think that's, you see that with KD and Brad and Book. But, Book doing that tonight, obviously he's going to lead with his voice in film today, all throughout the game. I thought KD was really one of our best leaders today, in the fourth quarter, just talking about it doesn't matter what we're doing on offense if we get stops. We had a strong message each time we came to the timeout. You saw what we did in the fourth quarter, so that was a great job by KD. But, Book is consistent with it. He really thinks the game. His film sessions, his timeouts. He's always talking to teammates about certain coverages. If I put something in, he's adding another layer to it. From a detail standpoint. So he's done a great job all season with us for that.
Great win, Coach.
Thank you.
Can you talk about how this win affects the seeding? You guys seem to come out on fire in the fourth quarter, shutting down Bones. Can you speak on the seeding, versus playing in the play-in?
Yeah, the seeding is, we're going to win as many games as we can, and we'll be confident wherever we land. If we end up in a top six, which is preferred, obviously, for all of us, we'll be confident with whatever matchup that we face. And if we end up in the play-in, we'll be confident that we go and win that game and secure whoever seed that leads to us. But we're focusing on the process. Let the results take care of themselves.
Coach, how big was this win considering the game last night? Just from a mental locker room.
Yeah, it was good. We had a terrible night last night. We had probably our worst night of the season in terms of how we started that game and the deficit we created for ourselves. Didn't feel good. Felt like, just didn't feel good, to perform that way with the hopes and expectations we have for our group and the standard that we want to set for our group and what we're trying to achieve this year. But I've been with teams that have gotten blown out in late regular season games and still gone on deep playoff runs. So, we want to make sure that didn't let us carry over into tonight's game or into the final three games or into the playoffs. We're not happy with it, but it happened. We got to put it behind us and remain confident in who we are.
That's all games. We've been preaching it with the play-in. All these games are already playoff games, so it's gonna be high intensity. If you lose, it's gonna be the worst loss ever. If you win, good win.
curious with Royce, what you think of him starting, and what did he bring in that role, you think, for him?
Just bringing the size, versatility on the defense end, and obviously, spacing the floor out, and those dribble keep actions and them uphill DHOs when teams try to put a lesser defender on him. He's quick and gets right to it.
When you at that stretch, I think in the fourth where they were struggling to make shots, part as you guys this defense, what do you feel like led to that, the run you guys had at the end of the game?
Talking on defense, I say shrinking the floor, bringing a low man over, making sure that they have to finish over a contest. Even if they make those layups, it's tough. When you have length at the rim, so just making sure somebody's always there to meet them.
Should this have been a more comfortable win considering who they didn't have?
There's no comfortable wins in the NBA. You're asking the wrong person. I keep telling you. I don't sleep on any talent in this. There's 450 people in the world that get to play in this league. And as you see, when teams are missing their top players, those guys take that as a real opportunity, to play free and play fast.
What did you make of Bones? I mean, just that got out, I think he had 15 in the first quarter, 20
Yeah.
after.
I mean, the top of our scouting report, it's nothing that we knew he wasn't capable of. He's just a tough coverage. He's shifty, smaller, and, obviously can shoot it from deep.
Will you be keeping an eye on the Masters at all? I know that you're friends with John Rahm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Back to back. First one since Tiger. Put my bet in.
You ever been able to golf with him?
All the
before?
time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's real humbling.
You wearing those shorts while you're doing it?
Huh? These? I have. Do you like these?
No, I'm just asking.
No, I will. Yeah. It's consistent.
Is there ever a point where you feel like time is close to running out on figuring things out? Or as a player, do you always feel like there's enough time?
I mean, ideally you want things figured out, but you also, you want adversity through the regular season, and we'll take it right now. You want that hurt feeling when, it doesn't cost you a game in the playoffs or the play-in if that's the situation. So, as long as it doesn't happen, once we get in our series or, like I said, if we're in the play-in, I'm happy with it. But, we're learning from it.
How much? Go ahead.
Just what have you made of Kevin? I think his defense has been pretty underrated throughout his career, but him as kind of a defensive anchor when you guys go small, just his ability, his versatility. What made it from the defensive end this year?
Just versatile, to be 6'11" out there and switching on small guards, but at the same time being able to hold your own with 5 men when we go to small ball lineups. You can't replicate that.
What do you think of Thad? You talked about wanting to see him out on the floor more. What you think of him getting an opportunity? What you see with him?
He played well. He made some great extra passes out the pocket, to open up some corner threes on the backside. He's setting great screens, and, he was active on both ends.
Going small, maybe without a real center, hasn't been something you guys have done a lot. I'm just curious, how comfortable are you guys with that kind of play?
I think it's worked well for us this season. We've only really used it in desperation times to spread teams out and play fast as we can.